The good thing about this game is that the Celtics once again had an opportunity to beat a team that was shorthanded, and they didn't choke it away.
Yeah.
Remember, I mean, they beat, when they beat what was it, Denver? They didn't have Jamal Murray. They didn't blow that opportunity. You don't have LeBron. You don't have AD. You handle that business, get the win, move on. But by no means should they be popping the collars about this one because
the Charlotte Houston games, those were in that vein too.
Right.
Yeah, the shorthanded, you're supposed to drill them.
You're supposed to drill them, and they did that for the most part. The thing that I like more than anything else is that they're playing both ends of the floor now. They're picking their spots. They're sharing the ball. They're defending at multiple positions. They're defending as a group as opposed to individuals. They're doing a lot of good things, but damn, that back line, end of the bench, my goodness.
Not even the end of the bench, Gerard. This just, I don't want to harp on the end of the game because it really doesn't matter, but it does too, because we talk about how thin this team is, and forget the back end. Most back ends of NBA benches aren't helping you, but this back end of the bench isn't even ready to play NBA basketball, as you can see here. And so the second line that they have isn't great. And that just shows the depth on this team.
Yeah, but you can't worry about the back end of the bench in a game.
No,
when you're
but my point is,
but you're missing Rob Williams.
But
it's not the point. It's not even the back end of the bench. It's guys who would be in Maine right now. When you're down Fournier and Williams, that means you're playing. You go that deep. These are guys who would never see the court, even in a blowout. So I mean, you're not getting Tremont Waters. Sadly, Neesmith is in that situation. Wagner, oh my goodness gracious, Wagner, I don't think should do anything ever again.
Every appearance he's been horrible.
Like any basketball related activity, I would stop it.
And he got to start
say his name again. I don't want to say his name.
Yeah,
I don't even want to say his name.
Is that the worst move Brad's made all year? Was starting him.
I want to bring Joe Sway on, but he's doing that old man poke at the monitor thing, and I can't tell. I'm looking at him back there, and he doesn't look confident. Joe Sway, blink twice if you're confident. Give it a thumbs up. You want to come in, buddy? We're gonna try him.
How are you gonna talk to me like I can't hear you, John? Come on, I can hear you, man. Just because I'm
doing the old man
doesn't mean I can't hear you.
I know you can hear me. That's why
I'm saying it. This is why I hated the fact that people were trying to lump Cornette with Mo Wagner. I'm like, well, wait a minute. He's got a little more potential than Mo Wagner.
I can't wait to do the Cornette segment.
It's not a whole lot.
But we were sold a different bill of goods. We were told that Wagner could play and Cornette was going to be cut as soon as they filled out their roster.
Here's the thing about guys at the end of the bench. If you're going to be at the end of the bench, you need to have one discernible skill that if all else fails, there's one thing that you are pretty good at. Yeah. Cornette, he can shoot the hell out of the ball. That's an absolute
block some shots, apparently.
I'm not going there just yet, Bobby. He did that tonight, but
a little bit.
I'm not going to put that on. That is not going to be on his resume.
How about the way Tyler Zeller used to block shots? No, a little bit of that.
You had to bring in Tyler Zeller.
He'd give you a block every once in a while. He'll give you a block like that. He's got that going.
Okay, I'll give you that.
All I gotta say is people are blasting Brad. What do you want him to do?
Who was blasting Brad? For what?
People on Twitter, they're freaking out because they blew the lead.
People on Twitter aren't real, Bobby.
Yeah, I know, but there's a lot of them. Like, this isn't just one guy. I'm seeing, yeah, you're right. But again, if anyone's in the chat thinking that, or anyone's on Twitter saying that, again, you don't want to bring the starters back in too soon. You don't want to bring the starters back in at all. If they had just made one basket down the stretch there, they would have been fine.
When you empty the bench like that with a 27-point lead against the Lakers that don't have LeBron, don't have AD, Schroeder had like an infected foot and he was limping out there.
I was stunned he played.
Yeah, there's no reason in the world why your end of the bench guys should not be able to maintain a 27-point cushion.
That's all there is to it.
I mean,
that's unacceptable.
I can't put that. Now, the only thing that I would say maybe Brad should have gone with the core guys a little bit earlier. But to me, that's just being nitpicky. Because in his shoes, why should I have to do that? You're NBA players. I'm literally asking you to hold down the fort. You don't have to step it up. You just be adequate.
That being said, the only thing I'll say, I agree, Bobby. Anybody criticizing Brad for playing your bench in a 27-point game, I mean,
that's ridiculous.
But I will say the only thing, if you're Brad, you do want to say with the caveat, like, guys, I do want you to play, but let's not just be smart. You don't shoot in the first 10 seconds of the shot clock. You know, like, I know we don't get lots of action. You got to play smart. Work the ball around. Get a good shot. Play a real game.
Kill some clock.
Kill some clock. Play as if it's a real situation. But when you see Tremont Waters getting the ball and like, oh my God, and he's
Lakers were getting close with 3:50 to go. They were killing any
That's
clock.
what I mean. Like,
Tremont's pushing the pace and shooting early in the clock. At that point, you just pull him out. Like, you don't have to do the wholesale change, but you call a timeout and you say, you have to stop this. Like, you are killing us. And Edwards, guys, individually, this is a disaster. Like, slow it down. That's the only thing I'll say there.
I think that's what makes it so frustrating, because it's like you look at the starters and it's like they gave you a good enough cushion to close this one out. And you know what? Just like what was it last week when I applauded Brad for keeping the starters in at the end of that first quarter because they weren't playing so well, but he wanted them to figure it out because they were playing the damn Minnesota Timberwolves, I believe it was that game. Like, in that same regard, the second unit, garbage time squad, whatever you want to call them, that's their job. You're supposed to take care of that lead. And you know what? For the starting unit, you got to beat up on them in practice next time, or they're not going to have much practice, right? Next time you guys can get in 5-on-5 or whatever. I mean, that's because they're going to need that. I mean, the starters need to be in a space in the postseason, or even heading towards the end of the regular season. They have to feel in a space where they can say, okay, if we have a good enough cushion, we can trust these guys to take over. We trust these guys to close this one out. And they have to be ready for that as well.
This is why it matters, Josue. Because, again, these guys that we're talking about don't matter, but the guys above them aren't that much better off that bench. Like tonight, Romeo, Grant, Semi, those kind of guys that were playing bench minutes. Wasn't great. Those guys were squandering leads too, made it a little bit too close during middle portions of this game, which we won't even get into.
They pushed. They won the game with the Cornet group. I mean, they won it with a couple bench guys out there mixed in with starters.
Cornet was good. That was a huge relief.